All right, coaches. So with the Olympic lifting sessions we got this week and then rolling into this cycle, before I go out for a little bit, I wanted to give you guys this video for coaches development, a little bit off of track with the focus that we were doing the last few weeks, but I know this is going to help you guys through the cycle, and we'll just kind of pick up where we left off when I get back to things with the baby. So this is going to be a good framework for teaching the Olympic lifts, teaching specific things you want to teach for each session based on what the coach's notes say. So really make sure you're checking the coach's notes. Dave's going to take over those while I'm out, but then right when I come back around the end of December, the new year, we'll be giving you guys focuses for lots of those pull-in breakout sessions. So that's something that Dave and I talked about that we want to utilize a lot more, make a staple in our coaching to make sure that we are handling those bigger classes, still teaching our veteran members cool new things that they may not have heard before or may not have heard for a while, and reiterating things that they've heard in the past to just assure that they're still important, and teach our new members a lot. We have a lot of members coming from other gyms that have closed, or just returning CrossFitters that are telling us that they're learning more here than they've ever learned in CrossFit before, which that's great to hear. So we want to keep that up, keep teaching our members, so if they keep learning, they will keep improving. They keep improving and learning, they'll stay happy and stick with us. So this framework for teaching, Zeus really found this super helpful in his coaching internship process. I've found it extremely helpful over the life of my coaching career. So it's a combination of two things. The first one is from a coach, Chad Vaughn, Olympic lifting coach, CrossFit lifting level 2 certification coach and creator. So it's stance, grip, position. This is how you can teach the setup for any lift. So when you are going to brief a class and you're going to teach them the clean, like, all right, guys, come on over. Everybody bring it in. Today we're going to do the clean. When we're doing the clean, we're going to set up with our feet underneath of our hips. Our hands are going to be at about thumb's distance away from our hips. And then to get into that setup with the bar on the floor, bars at mid-shin. I'm going to pull my hips down, flatten out my back, big chest puffed up, and I've got my gaze straight ahead. So you start off with the stance, told them where to put their feet. You gave them where you want their grip, and then you gave them the setup positions. And then you can also talk about the positions of moving, the dynamic position. So if you're going to teach a lift like the clean, how we're going to move the bar. So that took me all of 30 seconds to teach them how to set up for a clean. And I gave them those 3 actionable things there. So we could do that for a squat, right? If we're teaching the front squat, for instance, okay, guys, we're going to set up with our feet at shoulder width. The heel of my foot's going to be underneath of my shoulder. My hands are going to be about thumb's distance off my hips. Bring the bar up to the rack, loosen my grip, and get my elbows up parallel to the floor. From here, I'm going to shift my hips back, send my hips down below the top of my knee, keeping my chest tall and elbows up, and then stand. So I gave them, again, a quick sub 30-second breakdown of their stance, their grip, positions to set up and initiate a squat. So that's how you guys can start to organize your words. We're rolling into a clean and jerk cycle. So if you guys pull the group in, you can give them that clean setup. Be like, hey, we're doing clean and jerk today. After that clean, I want you to rethink about your stance, grip, position. So we're going to bring our feet back in underneath of our hips. We're going to readjust our grip as needed, get those elbows up high. From here, we're going to do a 1-inch vertical dip. It's a smooth dip, an aggressive drive, and then we're going to punch into the jerk or the split. So you can give them that same focus, SGP, stance, grip, position. So same goes for snatches. You can apply that to everything. So something you can practice at home. You can teach your significant other. You can just in the mirror by yourself practice, teach your mom, whoever's at the house. But that's something that you guys can at least pre-think about. Even if you just visualize it, think about it in your head, that can be super helpful for teaching the lifts that we're going into in class. So when you go to do these couple-minute pull-in sessions, already have a plan for like your whole script for those 1 to 2 minutes. It's going to save you time. It's going to make it so you're not fumbling over your words. And that's so you actually teach them what you want to teach in your own unique way. So stance, grip, position, super helpful for this cycle and just your coaching in general. The other piece is going to be TSDC. So, or TSDC. Yeah. So teach, show, do, correct. This is the thing I got the biggest feedback on in my level 2, and this is going to be how to layer in things you want to teach. So this applies maybe a little bit more to foundations and one-on-ones. So definitely Patty and Zeus, you guys will benefit a ton from this or refreshing on this. I know I've talked about it with both of you in the past, but for all of our coaches, this can be helpful in class. Even if you're talking to someone real quick, you want to give them, hey, we're going to go ahead and focus on that front squat. Remember, we want our elbows super high, so it should look like this through the entire range of motion of that squat. And then they show you a squat that looks like this. And then you're going to tell them that they did a great job on that squat because they kept their elbows up. That's the only thing you've taught them or told them to focus on. Yes, their knees were absolute crap and they went in. Now you're going to come back and say, okay, you did a great job keeping your elbows up. Next thing we're going to learn is about knee position in the squat. So what we want to do here is, if we imagine a laser pointer coming out of our knee, we don't want it to come inside of our big toe. We're going to at least push it outside of our big toe. You can give them that target outside of their knee, whatever it is, but you're going to teach them where you want their knees to go. Show them, I want you to do this, not this, right? You were showing me a little bit of this. I want you to push those knees out to here. Okay, let's go ahead, get you set up, give them the verbal, visual, tactile cues that they may need, and then correct it. And then you might see that as they were doing that, they rounded their back. So you're going to move on to the next thing you want to correct with the next cue. So one thing at a time. And you want to try to figure out the thing that's going to help you with multiple cues. That's tough. It takes practice. It takes years of coaching and just seeing movement, but that's what you guys are here to do. Just as much as our athletes are practicing and getting better, you guys are practicing as coaches and improving and learning and getting better as well. So if you have questions on this, obviously reach out to me, let me know. So recap, SGP, stance, grip, position, for teaching all of our weight training movements. And then TSDC, the teach, show, do, correct, to layer in those cues. Explain what you're going to do, show them how to do it, have them do the movement, correct them on the fly and make the corrections needed. And then let's move on to the next thing we want to correct, the next thing. It works, in those lifting sessions really well, which we're getting into for our Olympic lifting here. So a couple pieces for you guys to really start practicing this cycle, and just, these are really awesome. It's a really awesome framework, putting these two together to teach the class movement, to teach people individually movement, and the way that we correct. And you can get better at this, and you'll make your life a lot easier as a coach.